Alright, hello my furry followers. Recently, I have been wanting to try more long form content, and I figured what better way to dive right into it than to talk about something I am such an avid fan of, and if you probably couldn't tell, it's Care Bears. These little furry creatures have been a token for both children and collectors alike, being a franchise that has survived over 40 years, constantly innovating and updating their products with the times. While not as fandom heavy as some other collector series, I am most certain the average person has at least heard of the Care Bears franchise. While I personally am fond of almost every relaunch, there has definitely been some favoritism when it comes to certain product lines, as you will see soon enough. And I'd like to take a little bit more of a deep dive into the franchise as a whole. Care Bears were originally illustrated by Elena Kucharik, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, with concept designs by the artist who originally helped design Strawberry Shortcake, Muriel Farian. They were first introduced to American Greetings in 1981, but were not seen by the public eye until February of 1983, first appearing in New York City's Toy Fair. With this showing, a line of plush toys produced by the Parker Brothers followed, as well as the first animated special, titled Care Bears in the Land Without Feeling. The first 10 Care Bears to come out of the Care Bears franchise as a whole were Bedtime Bear, Birthday Bear, Cheer Bear, Friend Bear, Funshine, Good Luck, Grumpy, Love-A-Lot, and Wish Bear. These 10 would be featured most in digital, visual, and physical media throughout the years. Alongside the film and the toys, 6 books were also released, as well as a plethora of greeting cards, which the designs were originally intended for. After the initial success, a spin-off line emerged called the Care Bears Cousins. Now, if any of you grew up like I did, you may already be familiar with this series, featuring characters such as Swift-Heart Rabbit and Braveheart Lion. In 1984, the same year the Cousins were introduced, another Care Bears special titled The Care Bears Battle the Freeze Machine released. With the very next year releasing the Care Bears movie, produced by the ever-famous Nelvana studio. This film became the highest grossing animated film outside of the impressive Disney circle. This movie also saw the introduction of 3 new Care Bears, Harmony Bear, True Heart Bear, and Noble Heart Horse. Now, most of the Care Bears adventures take place up in the clouds, in a place called Carolot, which included Carolot Castle. The characters can be seen driving cloud-shaped cars and using powers called the Care Bear Stare, which is essentially a beam of colored light corresponding to the bear using it, coming from the tummy area. The success of this film led to another animated TV series, as well as merchandise. I'm going to break away from the history for a moment to tell you a bit about my love for these guys. Of the original Care Bears, my personal favorite has to be Cheer Bear, as she was the plush that I grew up with and could relate most to. I had a Cheer Bear plush from the Fluffy and Floppy line, released in 2006, which also smelled like strawberries and came with a DVD featuring a few of the original episodes from the 1986 The Care Bear Family series. Between the years 1983 and 1987, over 70 million cards were printed, 40 million Care Bear plushes were sold, and the franchise had raked in a hearty $2 billion in sales. As we continue, there may be gaps or lack of detail in my report. Please know I am producing this entirely on my own, and my research as well as editing, recording, and releasing this is done in my free time after work. If you wish to support me and my content, please do all the things like share, follow, and check out my links. Alright, now let's get you back to the good stuff. After the initial launch of the franchise, Care Bears has seen many re-releases and recreations, some a little bit more notable than others. The first of many of these relaunches happened in 1991. This included the Care Bears and the Big Cleanup and the Care Bears and the Whale Tail books, and also a plushie called Proud Heart Bear, which featured white fur and a heart-shaped American flag tummy symbol. In 2002, the Care Bears franchise was bought by Jay Foreman of Play Along Toys, relaunching the toy line and working with Nelvana and Lionsgate to produce the first 2 CGI animated films, Journey to Joke-A-Lot and The Big Wish Movie. I personally had The Big Wish Movie and loved it as a child, but looking back, the animation just does not age well. This movie introduced 3 new bears, never seen before and not really ever seen again. Too Loud Bear, Me Bear, and Messy Bear, which would become the main quote-unquote antagonists of the films. The toys from this time took several forms, like the Care Bears babies and Care Bears doing aerobics, which actually had robotic parts in them, encouraging kids to get up and move. The Care Bears cousins, excluding Noble Heart Horse and Treat Heart Pig, were reproduced as 13-inch plushies, but were not actually rebooted as a whole. In 2007, to celebrate the 25th anniversary, the Care Bears would be given a new coat of paint, completely redesigning the characters, giving them a younger, more childlike features. A new character was also introduced, known as Oopsie Bear, being shown in his movie Oopsie Bear Does It, which would serve as the pilot to the 2D animated series Adventures in Care-a-Lot. While the series still technically takes place in Care-a-Lot, it now looks completely different, sporting a large tree called the Gathering Tree, with the bears now living in a village. In mid-2008, negotiations had taken place for American Greetings to sell the franchise as a whole to Cookie Jar Entertainment, but after failing to secure funding, the deal fell through. Meanwhile, another company by the name of Moonscoop had also shown interest in acquiring the Care Bears name. At some point, an offer was made and possibly agreed upon, but in August of 2008, Moonscoop had sued American Greetings, claiming they backed out of a $95 million deal. After a pretty short court battle, the decision was ruled in favor of American Greetings, which pretty much cut all ties for a while. Towards the end of 2009, 3 more films were released: Care Bears to the Rescue, The Giving Festival, and Share Bear Shines. And the rights to produce toys was announced to be changing from Play Along Toys to Hasbro. In 2012, for the 30th anniversary, they were once again redesigned, returning them to a more rounded, soft, bear-like appearance, closer to the original. This would also be the year the first CGI animated TV series would also air, Care Bears Welcome to Care-a-Lot. This show's main cast were Tenderheart, Cheer, Share, Grumpy, Funshine, Harmony, and a new character, Wonderheart Bear. In 2014, it would actually come out that the rights to produce toys was not given to Hasbro, due to them losing out to a company called Just Play. In 2015, Netflix ordered a continuation of the Welcome to Care-a-Lot series, reintroducing the cousins in Care Bear and the Cousins, after Welcome to Care-a-Lot was canceled by the Hub. Originally set to release in 2016, the series actually saw light in November of 2015, with 6 episodes initially and another 6 episodes to follow later on. 2017 marked the 35th anniversary of the Care Bears franchise. Now, in 2018, Care Bears Unlock the Magic, the most recent of all the series, was teased at the Licensing Expo. This series is the first to take place outside of the well-known Care-a-Lot, with the setting being in a place known as the Silver Lining. This series mainly focused on Cheer, Grumpy, Funshine, Share, and Good Luck, as well as a new creature and companion, Dibble. This series officially launched in 2019, being aired on Boomerang as well as being on the Boomerang streaming service. And now, folks, we get to the good part, or at least the good part in my opinion. In the year 2020, the Basic Fun Toy Company released the first of many plushies based on the Unlock the Magic series. These bears sit at 14 inches tall and were released in the US, Canada, and the UK. Each year since 2020, there have been new bears added to the list, several of which have been UK or Canada exclusives. Other countries have also seen their own unique lines of plushies, including Australia, produced by Head Start, Thailand and Korea, produced by Take Toys, and China, produced by Miniso, which I actually have here. As you can see, I am an avid collector of plushies and would love to have some overseas variations in my collection. Unfortunately, the only way to obtain many of these country-specific creations is to have them imported. There are so many bears who are part of a Care Bear family now that it may seem difficult to count. So I did. After checking several sources, it seems there have been a total of 115 unique Care Bears, including toy release only and single feature bears. Some of my favorites are Daydream Bear, Best Friend Bear, Sweet Dreams Bear, Bedtime Bear, and Sweet Sakura Bear. While I have done my best, I can really only go by what is listed online. So if 115 is not the total number, then please let me know. I will leave links to the Wikipedia as well as the fandom wikis I have used for my research. These Technicolor bears have had a long and ever-changing history, with each new iteration leading to some amazing plushies, figures, and series. If you have a favorite generation and wish me to do a more in-depth dive into it, please do let me know. I plan on covering each of some of the main characters as well as talking about their personality and history. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you. I hope to be able to do more in-depth videos like this and talk about all sorts of topics. Care Bears were one of the reasons I love being a furry now. The unique designs as well as the thought-out personalities made Care Bears a huge inspiration for me. I would love to do fandom-specific content, especially covering topics that are the reason you joined the fandom. I have plans to do videos of similar to this one about Bellicera, My Little Pony, and Webkins, all things that affected my childhood and are the reason I do what I do today. Once again, thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video and support me. If you would like to help even more, of course, give a follow, a like, a share, and check out my links. Until next time, farewell.